This is a simple recipe. Today I'm going to be making chicken dressing, one of my family favorite. And really, dressing is not hard to make. It's simple. It's all about the flavor. When I cook, I season on top of season. Anyone can do this. Just follow my instruction and you'll get it right. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be making chicken dressing, one of my family favorite. This is something that I really learned from my mom, and I might have added a little something here and there. I'm finna tell you what I put in it. We're gonna start with salt. We're gonna use this, and this is one of my favorites. This right here, I can't go without, especially during the holidays. It's a Bragg's 24 spice. And then I'm gonna go in with a little poultry season, as they call chicken bouillon, but it's chicken powder. We're gonna go in with this secret season. This is a pretty good season too. Pepper, sage, but I'm gonna show you what to do with this sage. You can't use too much now. Red pepper flakes, red bell pepper, onions, green bell pepper, and celery. And then we also gonna be using a little olive oil and cornbread stovetop stuffing. Make sure it say cornbread, because you don't want anything that got a lot of bread in it, like flour. You don't want that type of texture. I use it because this is what my mama used to make her dressing with, along with this cornbread. It's a taste in it, it's the season that we are after, and that's why I use it. We also got 2 eggs. Of course, we're gonna have shredded chicken. We got homemade chicken broth. If you don't have homemade chicken broth, you can go with store-bought. And then, of course, the cornbread. So the first step is to make the chicken. In order to make chicken broth, you need a chicken. So you're gonna do that, boil your chicken. And then if you're not gonna do that, you can skip this step and just get you a store-bought chicken, or you can bake you a chicken. After that, you need to bake this cornbread. And this cornbread, it got like herbs and spices and all that type of stuff. And you remember, I always say season as you go. Then the next step is you're gonna have to start chopping your vegetables up. Everything else is really dump and go. All right, so next I'm finna show you how I chop up my vegetable. One thing you can do, you can use a food processor on your onions, your celery, but now I wouldn't use a food processor on these, because what that'll do, it turns to liquid or mush. So first I'm finna do my celery. And you want some thinly chopped celery. You do not want no big chunks at all. You see how I'm doing this right here? You see that? All you have to do is just go down just like that. It's not hard. Now if you're scared of the knife or something like that, use a food processor and put it on chop. And so you're just doing this. I'm gonna take the ends off a little bit right here, because I ain't really got that chop. So you're just doing this, and you come in like this. You're doing it real thin. I'm gonna put this right here, and once you chop it, just go in and chop it up a little bit more finer. I think I heard one time about, if you chop your vegetables thin like this, it gives a better flavor than a chunky cut. So that's why I do it now, and I kind of believe that. So next you're gonna get your onions, the same thing. This is what we're doing right here. You're doing this, and like I say, even though you're chopping it, you're gonna come back in and you're gonna chop it again. Just doing this right here. See that? Do this, you're gonna come in with a bell pepper, and remind you, now this you need to chop. So you're doing this right here, you're just slicing it. And I'm gonna go ahead and do my green bell pepper. And make sure you wash your green bell peppers and red bell peppers. So I'm gonna warn you again on a repeat. Do not use a food processor for the bell pepper. You can go and buy some frozen vegetables, but it don't taste good to me, not like the fresh kind. You're gonna come in again and do the same thing. It's just a repeat on chopping. So you're doing this right here. Some people add garlic to their dressing. I don't. I use the powder, but I don't use actually garlic. And this right here is all you need to do for your vegetables. Let's get ready and move over here to the stove and saute these up, and then we'll start on the next step. But now we ain't gonna make them just completely done. We're just trying to soften them. So I'm gonna use olive oil. Now you can use any oil you want. Crystal oil, canola oil, whatever you wanna use. Some people use butter. All right, let's go over here and start sauteing. So next I'm gonna go ahead and add the onions in here, bell peppers, celery. And remember, you might not need all this stuff. I might use a little of this in my gravy, green pepper, and then this is some more that I just diced up. I'm coming in with this brag. This is the good stuff. This almost emulates the stovetop seasoning and dressing. Then I'm coming in with this secret season. I'm coming in with a little garlic powder. I'm coming in with a little poultry season. Sage, sage, sage. You know, use maybe a half a teaspoon of it. This is how much sage I'm using. Because I got about the same amount as in my chicken broth. You don't need to overdo it with this stuff right here. If you do, that's the worst dressing you can taste. I'm gonna add a little of this chicken broth, or as people call it, chicken bouillon, but it's just a chicken powder. And this is one of my favorite brands. This is the brand I always get right here. About maybe put a teaspoon of it in there. Like I said, eyeball, you see, you can put a teaspoon, tablespoon, or whatever in there. So next, we come in like this. So we're gonna let this cook for about maybe 5 minutes. I'm gonna cover it up for a second and then I'm gonna come back and turn this off. You don't want this to overcook. Okay, our vegetables have been sauteing for about 5 or 6 minutes. I think they are ready. And this is what it's supposed to look like. See how they look? It's not overcooked and it's not undercooked. So right, like I say, this is gonna finish cooking in that dressing. Okay, make sure your oven is set to 400. So first, let me grab my bowl and we're finna get ready to make this dressing up. Let me tell you a little bit about the cornbread first. The reason you see how I got this all crumbled up already, and I do that while it's in the oven baking. And the only reason I do that, it dries the bread out a little bit more. So next we're gonna go ahead and dump this in here like this. I'm gonna go ahead and sometimes I don't really crumble it up like this. I'm gonna put the liquid on there and let it do it work. So you're gonna do this. So next I'm gonna do is come over here, and this right here is about 8 cups of broth. And I got some more over there on the stove in case I need some more. But this right here is 8 cups. So now I don't know how much I'm gonna use, so I'm finna eyeball this. I'm just starting out with a little bit right now because I wanna moisten my bread and get it all crumbled up in there. The liquid gonna help this crumble up. I'm gonna chop it up in there, then I'm gonna come back in there with a little bit more liquid. Yeah, I really do this with my hands. Let me grab a pair of gloves right quick. Get some in this drawer. Okay. All right, I'm just gonna work this cornbread into this liquid a little bit better, and I can do it better with my hands. So that look pretty decent. So I'm gonna grab my stuffing. I'm gonna go ahead and dump all this in here anyway because really just cornbread. And what I'm looking for out of that pack is this season right here that you see right here. I'm gonna go ahead and use both packs. So remember, it needs to say cornbread. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm going in with my hands and I'm just doing this right here. And now I'm finna get ready to come back and pour some of this in here, pour some more of my liquid. And then I'm finna come over here and get those sauteed vegetables. You remember we sauteed that first. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that in there. See that? Just like that. And I'm finna pull these gloves off now. So right now I'm gonna come in with some cream of chicken. This is 1 can of cream of chicken. You can get any brand you want. Come in with a half a can of celery, cream of celery. And it's the Kroger brand. You can get the Camel brand, any brand you like. And then I'm gonna go in with some garlic powder, black pepper, a 24 spice by Bragg's. So I'm gonna sprinkle some of that in there. Then I'm gonna come in with this this secret season. Look now, I'm finna say this. Your cream of chicken, cream of mushroom is already salty, but I am gonna use just a tad bit of this chicken powder, just a little bit of it, because I don't want it too salty, and that's why I'm gonna taste as I go. And then I'm come in with a little pepper flakes. Then I'm going in with a little poultry season. And remember, do not use a lot of this. So I'm just gonna use maybe a half a teaspoon right now. And then I'm finna say on a repeat. Just use like a pinch of this. See that? Just a little bit starting out. If you put a lot of sage in your dressing look green, you need to throw it out. Because you remember, I put all these seasons that I'm finna put back in this dressing into my cornbread. And then I also put all the season into my sauteed vegetables. And remember, I put all this stuff in my stock. So that's why, and at the end of the day, I probably use in the whole batch, maybe a half a teaspoon of sage. So now I'm finna get ready to mix this stuff up together and see what I'm working with now. I know I'm gonna need some more chicken broth. So right now I'm finna get ready to add some more. So I started out using 2 cups of broth. Now I put a cup in just now, just to see it. Now I'm finna come in and taste it a little bit. I almost got this right off the bat. It really don't need any more seasoning to it. You can use whatever oil you want. I use olive oil. This is one of my favorite brands that I keep in the cabinet. But I'm going in with about maybe 1/4 to a half cup of olive oil. And really just keep the dressing moist and stuff. Okay, this is what it's supposed to look like right here. See that? That's it right here. Now I'm finna get ready to add I'm gonna add 2 eggs here. Pour that in there. And normally I'm gonna work it with my fork like this till I, kind of get it in there. Preheat your oven at 400 degrees. I kept aluminum foil on it to keep the chicken moist on the top. I told you I don't like my chicken all up in my dressing. All right, y'all, let me see what's going on in the oven. Yeah, it's about ready. Yep, this is what I'm looking for right here. It's golden on top, and this is how I like it. It's nice and brown. Let me get it out of the oven now. All right, y'all, let me see what I got going on. I think I did pretty good. So this is how I like my dressing. The whole family loved this dressing that I made. Okay, let's see what this tastes like, and let's see what it looks like, see if it's moist. This is what I'm talking about right here. See how moist this dressing is? This is what it's supposed to look like inside. This is moist and creamy, and you just can't beat this with a stick. I appreciate you all for watching today. If you like this recipe, share it, like, and comment on it, and let me know how did you do on your recipe.